Greetings, light workers. This is Oya Transformation, and this is your daily Oracle reading for May the 29th, 2020. Happy Friday. Okay, the cards have been shuffled. I have asked the Holy Spirit through me to be present. I've asked breath to work through me. I have asked the ancestors to show up in this reading. I've asked the Holy Spirit, it's the Holy Spirit twice. I have asked the Ascended Masters as well as my spirit guides to be present to protect this reading from any energies that are negative, and only the highest of all that support life be present in the reading. So the cards have fallen in this specific way. Transformation. Transformation is the theme for today. You use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Now, we move to the power of love deck and switched Isis out. So this is what we have for today. This lifetime is a part of your progression. The conscious soul thought that you are aware of right at this moment is forever a part of your evolution, of your divine self. Just as a caterpillar eventually becomes a butterfly, you too are slowly awakening to the true birthright as a spiritual being. Now, this is speaking to transformation and recognizing that Venus is in retrograde. So the things that you value, the things that bring you pleasure, the things that you love, all your ideas about that, or those principles and situations, are in flux right now. So don't get too bent out of shape about it. Transform that energy into recognizing that all things are exactly as they should be. You have enough. You are enough. And you never need more than what you have right now. Now let that sink in a minute. That might not feel all that comfortable, considering we are reconsidering when any planet is in retrograde. So, moving on, let's see what supports this wobbly space that we find ourselves in today. And what has fallen is the Four of Perseverance. Okay. Enough said. We are to move on, understanding there will be bumps in the road, understanding that even if you've had a clear run for a minute of good energy, things flowing without retrograde energy, without rehashing old wounds or old areas where there have been disagreement, old areas where we have settled into knowing that it's not exactly what you want things to be, but they're working. It's time to reevaluate as to whether or not they are really working, and recognize this is something we should be doing all the time, but becomes more prominent when planets are in retrograde. The retrograde of the planet means or over again. So Venus is in retrograde. Those things that bring you love, those situations that warm your heart, you may be looking at them again a little differently. Now, is that a bad thing to reevaluate? No, it's not. But knee-jerk reactions and um, are never good. So moving on, perseverance says just that. Continue to move on, to do the next best right thing for you. And recognize that challenges will come. But success is always within reach. The third card for today is the 40 of Purity. So that doesn't surprise me when things are in retrograde, that oftentimes that Venus being in retrograde particularly asks us to reevaluate what our values are, what's important to us, and we being asked to continue to move on in the things that work for you. And just because you're reevaluating does not mean that how we used to say, you throw the baby out with the bathwater. There are things that always are going to need to be tweaked. But move forward knowing that there are things also that are important to you, and they're not negotiable. In the seemingly random moments of feeling, you tend to reach into the past memory of experience and dictate into the present what the emotions of the moment should be. What if you approach each presentation from others with the possibility that duality or dualistic judgment of your path may be dictating your intentions? So, we live in a black and white world, and that's probably what causes us the most problems on all levels, because for as much as we've been trained to recognize the left and the right, the black and the white, we move better together when we live and have our being in grays. Because the black and the white leads to fanaticism, it leads to dualistic beliefs, it leads to all or nothing ways of being, which most often has us in juxtaposition to everything. And you wonder why people are sitting on the edge waiting to be offended so that they can attack. Because we have not become comfortable with integrating the blacks and the whites. So, purity of thought, we may take it back to what feels good. And I'm not speaking about in a carnal way about what feels good, but can you be okay with another point of view and let it just be there? Or do you feel like a burning in your soul that you have to react? And what do you want to do about that? The final card for today from the Course of Miracles is I am entrusted with the gifts of God. You can wait, you can delay, you can paralyze yourself, or reduce your creativity almost to nothing. But you cannot abolish it. Which says to me, what you have, what I have as gifts, whether we develop them or not, will never go away. So as we transform and shift our awareness to looking at things from different perspectives, yet are not paralyzed and continue to move on, recognize the gifts God has entrusted you. And in this time of not only stillness, but retrograde, of what is important and what it is that you truly love, while you're working that out, develop one of your gifts that's been laying dormant. Because when things are revealed is when things are revealed. And oftentimes we have to move without all the evidence. But to move and not move impulsively, if that is a challenge for you, maybe I'm talking to me, it may be a time to develop a new hobby or another way to enjoy being who you are as you walk into who you will become. We do all of this stuff alone. It's nice to share it with others, but our soul's unfoldment is a single pointed intention. This is the message for Friday. Have a good weekend. Do something that you love. Namaste.